Okay, let us start the embedded system lecture. Good morning. This is the embedded systems DT3102. Course outcomes are students will be able to select the relevant microcontrollers for various industrial applications. Students will be able to use embedded C programming language for maintaining the embedded system. Students will be able to interpret the communication standards for embedded systems. Students will be able to develop the basic applications for embedded system, and students will be able to interpret features of real-time operating system. So these are the course outcomes. In what is embedded system, we have seen example of the Vada Pav. Embedded system definition. It is the computer, but it is not having the primary computation work. It is having the control work. It requires hardware, application software, and RTOS. Power supply, processor, timer, serial exchange ports, input-output circuits, system service specific circuits. These are the embedded system hardwares. And embedded system memories, RAM, ROM, internal registers. Embedded systems are at the heart of many products like it is used in the machine learning, artificial intelligence applications. Cars are there, home appliances are there, medical devices, interactive kiosks, and many other devices are there. Refrigerator, car, this robotic buggy, this is a block diagram, machine to machine, IoT examples, general purpose heating system, central heating system, GPS system, fitness tracker, medical device, automotive systems, transit and fare collection, ATM, factory robots, vehicle charging stations, interactive kiosks. These are and many more are there. You have submitted the assignment also on that, isn't it? So embedded systems can be divided into four types: real-time, standalone, network, mobile. Real-time means it is having the task is to be performed by limited time. So there is a deadline for the completion of the task. And there are two types of real-time embedded system: hard real-time. In case of soft real-time, it is emphasis, paramount importance is there for the completion of the work and not for the deadline. But in hard real-time embedded system, deadline is very important. So, so these are the standalone systems, which are separate systems which are not having any dependence on the other system or connected to the other system. Macro oven, washing machine, video game. Network system, they are connected in the network, internet, like ATM, home security, card swipe machine. These are the networked embedded systems. Mobile embedded system, they are standalone. Mobile embedded system, they are portable and very small embedded system. You can take it anywhere. So these are called mobile embedded system. Digital camera, mobile phone, smartwatch, fitness tracker. Those mobile embedded system may be networked. That mobile phone is networked. We can connect it to the internet, isn't it? Or digital camera can be networked. Smartwatch can be networked. Fitness tracker is also can be networked, or maybe standalone. Digital camera may be standalone. Mobile phone can be standalone if you are using in the aeroplane mode, isn't it? But this will not remain as a phone. Then characteristics of the system we have seen: small form factor, power efficient components, single function, lower cost, tightly constrained, reactive and real time, perform specific tasks, part of the main system, ATM machine a part of the bank server system, user interface. It can have the interface with the user with the help of LCD screen or touch screen or switches or isn't it, or sensors, or it can have the communication among the two different embedded systems like with the help of, or it can have the communication between the internet network and the embedded system with the help of some protocols: UART, CAN, SPI, I2A. Then processors in the embedded system can be characterized of two types. One is the processor based embedded system. and second is microcontroller based embedded system. Okay. If you consider the processors in the embedded system can be characterized based on processors. Two types. Either you can use the processor, microprocessor in the embedded system, or you can use the microcontroller in the embedded system. If in embedded system microprocessor is used, that is called processor based embedded system, and the microcontroller is used, then it is called microcontroller based embedded system. Embedded system is the system which work for limited tasks, isn't it? So for only single function, multifunction is not there, general function is not there in the embedded system, only single function. The selection of the processor or microcontroller, the selection of processor or microcontroller, आज पण नाहीत का? मग उद्या घेऊया. हो इथंच ठेव. मग इथं ठेवतो. मग दुपारी चक्कर मारता जेवून येतं ना. मग जाऊ दे. बरं मी फोन करतो यांना आणि विचारतो. हो चालेल. हो चालेल. दुसरं दुसरं दुसरं. हे मी केलंय आपल्या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सचं. तर सगळ्या डिपार्टमेंट हेडना सांगा की तुमचे कोण कोण आहेत त्यांची नावं हेच असली तर हेच राहू दे टिक करा मग. सगळे 8 डिपार्टमेंट. नावं तुमची काय असतील ना या वर्षीची बदलली तर सांगा. So selection of processor or microcontroller is based on different factors. What are the factors? Selection. How you select the processor? How you select the microcontroller? Okay. How to select that? It depends on your need of the product. It depends on your need of the project, isn't it? What is your design? What is your requirement? What is you are thinking of to do? It can be 8-bit width, it can be 16-bit width, or 32-bit width architecture, or 64-bit width. Okay. How much amount of RAM is required, or ROM is required, or only RAM is required, or only ROM is required? What are the number of IO pins? What is the speed requirement? What is the packaging type required? What is the cost required? What is the performance required? What is the on-chip features required? Different features are there with the different processors. What is the size required? So this is the selection process. There are many ready-made boards. Arduino board is there, Raspberry Pi board is there, Banana Pi board is there, Intel Galileo board is there, Gigglebone is there. Many others are there, ready-made boards. So there are different embedded characteristics and continued. That is the power consumption, that is the flexibility. These are the characteristics of the embedded system. What is the power consumption? A very important factor of all the embedded system is powered. These are powered by batteries. Because they are powered by batteries, it becomes very important feature or important characteristics. What is the power consumption? If it is working on the powered batteries, okay, if it is working on the batteries, then what is the power consumption is ultimately becoming important. Why? Because how much time the backup will be there of the batteries, that can be very easily calculated. If the circuit is drawing very less power, then we can say that that circuit can run for very long time on that batteries. If the circuit is drawing very heavy power, or if the circuit is working or using very large power, then we have to say that the batteries are, or that circuit is consuming very large power, so that batteries are supposed to provide very less time backup time. So power consumption is one of the important characteristics. The amount of the power consumed by the system decides the capacity of lifetime of the battery. Simple. Then the flexibility is the ability to change the functionality of the system. So we know the embedded system is always one type of the work doing it. Once it is designed for a particular work, it can do only that work. So if the flexibility of ability of change the functionality is there, in the system without investing additional cost, and hence the software is typically considered very flexible as it can be updated at any time for new version. So flexibility is there in the software. In the hardware, it is difficult. It has to modify altogether. Okay. So this is the flexibility characteristic. Then processor power, one characteristic, and operating system is also the characteristic. In case of processor power, the embedded systems are controlled by microcontrollers or digital signal processor DSP. Okay. It can handle one or many specific tasks which require very powerful processor. Okay. So embedded systems are using some processor, isn't it? Obviously, the processor is at the heart of the embedded system, which is the central main very all of components among all of the components, main component, important component among all of the components. So processor power is also to be concerned. The embedded systems are controlled by microcontroller or digital signal processor, DSP processor. Digital signal processor is also there, or microcontroller is also. It handle one or more many specific tasks which require very powerful processor. So processor power should be considered. How much powerful the processor is, how much fast decision making is there, how much fast program execution is there, how much efficient program execution is there any deadlock, is there any hardware problems, are there any other problems. So that must be discussed, that must be considered. So that is called processor power. It is the performance power. It is not electrical power consumption of the battery. It is the processor power, performance power. Then second is the one more is the operating system. The embedded system obviously will require the operating system. It is called embedded operating system. Is needed in the embedded system to limit the function depending on embedded device and only run a single application which is crucial to the device operation. So obviously embedded system is for single application and it can run only the single application. So the operating system must be reliable. Reliable means it should work without fail. Must be reliable and able to run with tight constraints on memory, size, time and processing power. Tight constraints means optimized, means whatever given memory is there within that it can run, utilizing fully that memory. So tight size means whatever the size of that circuit or that board is there, with that it can run optimally. Whatever the time given, it can run optimally. Speed, working speed. Whatever the processing power is allowed, given, within that it can run optimally. The operating system should run optimally with size, memory, size, time and processing power. Similarly, the performance, memory, okay, performance, memory, size, reliability. These are also the characteristics of the embedded system. So performance means the performance of the system measured by execution time or throughput of the system. How much execution is done in the particular time? How fast execution will be there for the from the embedded system, that is called performance. Okay. If you enter the OTP in the, if you enter the PIN code in the ATM will take long time for execution. So this is not the good performance. Okay. Similarly, performance is the of the system is measured by execution time or throughput of the system. Similarly, memory, the program developed for embedded system, program which is developed for embedded system are treated as firmware. Okay, firmware, software firmware, and stored in a ROM or flash memory chip. So One of the characteristic is the memory. What is there in the memory of the embedded system? The program developed for embedded system is there in the memory. Okay. So which type of the memory, where it is stored, what it is called as, the program developed for the embedded system is there in the memory, and it is called as, treated as firmware. It is not software, it is a software, but specifically it is called firmware. So firmware means that program is not very easily or continuously or day to day changing. That program is not very immediately oftenly changed. The program remains firm. So it is firmware, and it is stored in the ROM, read only memory. It is not in the RAM, it is in the ROM. So once the program is stored in the ROM, it is not very easily changed. It is stored in the ROM. It is not very easily changed. Or it is stored in the flash memory chips. Flash memory chips are just like the ROM. Okay. They are not changed. In case of RAM, whatever the program is saved in the RAM, stored in the RAM, whenever the power supply of the circuit goes off, the RAM content will be erased. RAM will not keep the memory in it. So RAM's property is that it can be used as the memory whenever it is the power is continuing. Electric power is continuing. Whenever the electric power is gone off, the RAM will become erased, empty. Okay. So RAM will not hold the memory whenever there is no power. But in case of ROM, read only memory or flash memory, even though the power supply goes off, the ROM or flash memory holds the memory. Again, if you you make the power on, the switch on the power, whatever the ROM content were there, whatever the flash memory content were there, same will be appearing again in the, are there in the memory. So in ROM or flash memory, the software is called as firmware. It will not change. Light on a cell, off a cell, firmware will not change. So memory is also one of the characteristics. Memory of the is having the program developed for embedded system, and it is treated as a firmware, and it is stored in the ROM and flash memory chips. Okay. Then size of the embedded system is also one of the characteristics. The embedded system should be small in size as possible. It should be miniaturized. PCB and circuit should be miniaturized, small in size, so that it will become very portable for handling, isn't it? So olden days computer, room size computer was there. Then desktop size computer was there. Then nowadays the laptop is there. And nowadays palm top is there. Tablet is there. In our hand we can take it very easily. 100 gram, 200 gram computer is there, isn't it? Tablet is 200-300 gram only tablet. Mobile phone is a computer. It is only 100 gram, 200 gram computer. So consider room size computer and 200 gram computer. So size is also important. It is the important characteristics of the embedded system. So size of the embedded system should be small as possible. The software is measured in the bytes, and transistors or ICs or gates are used in the hardware. Okay. The software size is also important, and the hardware size is also important in the embedded system. Software should be very handy, portable. Software should be smaller, and the hardware should be smaller. Reliability. The embedded system should be much reliable to achieve a better performance for long duration of the time during its complete life cycle. So reliability should be there. What do you mean by reliability? Reliability means functioning or working without failure. Without fail functioning is there, that is called reliability. So any product is reliable means it is working without failure. Okay, for long time. So it is called reliability. So reliability means functioning without failure. No failure is called reliability. Guarantee of non-failure is called reliability. Guarantee of smooth working is called reliability. So reliability is one of the characteristics. The embedded system should be much reliable to achieve a better performance. Okay, for long duration of the time during its complete life cycle. So this is also very important characteristics. So the characteristic of embedded system for measurable features. So these we are seeing the measurable features, isn't it? All these are we are seeing the characteristics of the system are there, and these are the measurable features of the characteristic. Power consumption we can measure, flexibility we can consider, power processor power we can measure, operating system requirements we can measure, performance we can measure in some terms, memory you can measure, size. These are the features, reliability. So similar the characteristic is safety, correctness, and maintainability. Maintainability. So maintenance is maintainability. Maintenance, isn't it? So what is there in the safety? In case of safety, the duration during the system failure, the system should not cause harm to others. Safety. Okay. Whenever there is a functioning, there is a functioning. Okay. Or while functioning, some failure occurs or stop working. System stop working. Okay. During the system failure, the system should not cause harm to others. Okay. What is safety? The system should not cause harm to other. Okay. During the system failure. Suppose embedded system fails, it should not cause any harm. So that is called safety. Or one system fails, then that will burn the other systems, and it should not happen. Okay. So safety should be there. So what is correctness? Correctness. By checking the functionality of system, it indicates the functionality of incomplete implementation of the system is correct or not. Correctness is what? Checking the functionality of the system, it indicates the functionality of implementation of the system is correct or not. ओके सेमच आहे इन्फॉर्मेशन सेमच आहे हा ठीक आहे म्हणजे सगळे असे रोटेट करायचे अच्छा हा चालेल नावं तीच आहे फक्त रोटेट करायचं चेंज केलं त्याने हा हा बघा मग तुम्ही तुमच्याकडे राहू द्या तिथून घेऊन जा ठेवायचं chemical electrical. So correctness. By checking the functionality of the system, it indicates the functionality of implemented system is correct or not. Correctness means what? By checking the functionality of system, the functioning system is functioning now. That functionality is checked. If it is functioning correctly, it indicates the functionality of implemented system is correct or not. That means testing. Testing. If the system is functioning, whether it is functioning correctly as per your requirement, whatever you designed accordingly that it is functioning, or if it is not, that is checked. That is called correctness. It is testing, isn't it? And maintainability. Maintenance means if the system fails, we can correct it. If the system fails, we can maintain it. We can repair it, isn't it? Repairing. So it is the most important factor of the system in which the system can be repaired or replaced within certain time interval. Suppose there is a ATM machine, and if the machine fails, whatever component is there, immediately we have to replace, otherwise that machine remains idle for couple of days or couple of weeks or month, then it will not of use. In case of industry, one machine fails, the complete line remain idle, isn't it? Suppose car manufacturing is there. So first the car is taken, the hood is taken, then that is welded, and then again more welding is there, and then some components are added, then other more components are added, then nutting and nut bolt tightening is there, then coloring is there. If some in between operation fails, the complete car manufacturing line will be idle, it will stop. So in case of industry, it is very crucial, isn't it? So maintainability means in certain time interval, immediately, whatever the time interval, it should be immediately replace the repaired system or the component in the system. So this is called maintainability. Okay, it is called maintainability. So these are some of the characteristic features. Okay, these are some of the characteristic features to be measured, measurable characteristic features. Power consumption of the system, embedded system, flexibility, so very easily can be configurable, flexibility of the system, processor power, that is how fast processor performs, the operating system, the how limited memory, limited size, limited time, limited processing power, and it is operating. Performance of the system, execution time, throughput, memory, that is the firmware stored in the ROM and flash memory. Then size of the embedded system, or it may be size may be measured in the software case, in the number of gates case, in the transistor case. Okay, in the hardware, in software it is number of bytes, and in hardware it is number of transistor, number of ICs, number of gates case. Reliability, how system is working without failure, that is called reliability, isn't it? So that is reliability. And then safety is there. If there is a failure, that failure should not harm the other systems. Okay, it should not cause the harm to other systems, that is called safety. Then correctness, whether the system is working correctly or not, that testing. And maintainability, the most important factor is there, that is how much time is required, within certain time interval it can be repaired or replaced or not. So these are the characteristics of embedded system as a measurable features during the implementation of the system. During the implementation of the system, whenever the system is being implemented, at that time it is observed. The embedded system advantages are there. What are the advantages? Easily customizable. Embedded system can be very easily customized. Low power consumption, embedded system consumes very less power. Very low cost is there for embedded system, and enhance the performance is there for the embedded system. Similarly, the embedded system is having disadvantage. High development efforts are required. Large time for the marketing is required. So these are the advantages as well as disadvantages. So embedded system can be very easily customized. Customized means, customization is the process by which you can make the system, you can convert the system, you can produce or manufacture the system as per customization, as per the requirement, as per your decisions. That is called customization. So they can easily customizable. Embedded system are can be easily customized because it is a single purpose use, single function use. Whatever the requirement of the function is there, that accordingly that system can be manufactured, produced or customized. So it is very easily customizable. Okay? It is very easily customizable. This is the first thing, first parameter, easily customizable. So if you want particular properties, if you want particular specification, if you want particular uh, working style, working facilities, then you can develop that, generate that, or you can do that, or you can allocate, or you can design accordingly to have your own needs, and those are very easily customizable. There is a low power consumption because the system, embedded system, is a dedicated system. It is not general purpose system. It is dedicated system. It is doing only single functioning. If it is doing single functioning, only related to that single function, the components will be there, so that the power consumption will be very minimized. So it is low power consumption is the one more advantage along with the easy customizable. Okay, easy customizable are there in the system, but low power consumption is also the advantage. As we know, the embedded system is dedicated system. Embedded system is a single functioning system. Very less number of components are required. Very less number of power consumption is required. Very less power consumption. Very less, very small. The software is required because it is the single functioning system. That's why the cost becomes less. It is low cost. It is low cost. If you go for the laptop general purpose computer, it is costlier. If you go for the mobile, it will become cheaper. Okay. Because the embedded system are single functioning. Okay. So their cost becomes less. Easily customizable, low power consumption, low cost. All these are enhance the performance. Enhance the performance. Again, it is single functioning system or dedicated system. Its performance for particular functioning can be focused. That's why it will be enhanced the performance. In case of general purpose system is running music on this side, and if you are typing, it is editing that, and if you are connected to internal, it is downloading something. So there is a multitasking in the general purpose system, and that multitasking will decrease the performance of the processor. That processor will become slower. That system, general purpose system, will become slower. So, in case of dedicated system, in case of the system which is working for a single function, that is having more performance, enhanced performance. That is having enhanced performance. Okay. So, easily customizable, low power consumption, low cost, enhanced performance. These are the embedded system advantages. These are the advantages. It can be customized. It can be having low power consumption. It can have the low cost, and it is having enhanced the performance. These are the advantages. At the same time, each embedded system requires its own different efforts. Suppose you have developed some system, okay, water irrigation system, water giving system. Now other farmer says, no, I want the soil detection, moisture detection. At the same time, I want the this uh, rain detection system. So you have to customize. Each time you have to customize the embedded system. You have to change the details of the embedded system. Once the system is designed, that system is not produced for a very large number of pieces. Okay. One desktop is the one computer laptop is designed. Millions of laptops can be manufactured. So it is not possible with the embedded system. So it requires the development efforts. Okay. Once the laptop is designed, the similar another laptop is required to design. All the components are very same. No design changes or much changes are required. Only you have to change the processor. You only have to change the RAM. You only have to change the ROM. Bluetooth will be same. Bluetooth may change from one standard to next generation. That USBs are same. USB will change. Hope I have connected again. It was electricity problem. Electricity is again available now. So these are the two disadvantages. High development effort is there because each embedded system requires separate efforts from scratch. So it is not that all the embedded systems are having the same this format or structure or design. So each time a new design will be there, and that's why high development efforts are required. And larger time to market, because it is not general purpose. Everybody cannot be having the requirement like the general purpose devices. Once the device is made for particular application, that device will be available, is useful for only that application. So other similar applications is difficult to find, and so marketing is different. So large time is required for the market. Okay. So these are the disadvantages of the embedded system. Okay. So in embedded systems, as we seen, at the heart of the embedded system, that is the microprocessor or microcontroller. Okay. So श्रुती रेवनकर बंद करा माइक. श्रुती रेवनकर माइक बंद करा. Okay. So in case of embedded system, we have seen the at heart of embedded system there is a microprocessor or microcontroller. Always at the heart of the embedded system, the very important component in the embedded system is microprocessor or microcontroller. Depending on that, embedded system may be microprocessor based embedded system or microcontroller based embedded system. Okay. So embedded system are either microprocessor based or microcontroller based. Embedded system are dedicated system only for single function. So you can use that function for that functioning either microprocessor based system or microcontroller based system. But microprocessor are very general processors. Okay, they are general purpose processors. So why to invest that more processing power into the embedded system? That's why microprocessor based embedded systems are not generally made. Generally, embedded systems are used using microcontrollers. Embedded systems are generally using microcontrollers. Okay. So what are the different microcontrollers are there? Microcontrollers. So a microcontroller, what is microcontroller? Microcontroller is in short MUC or UC, it is called microcontroller, is solitary chip microcomputer. Solitary, single chip. Solitary means single chip. Solitary means single, unique. Single chip microcomputer. Single chip microcomputer means what? Solitary chip microcomputer means on the single chip the microcomputer is there. Microcomputer is there on the single chip. In the general purpose computer, how it is? Processor is separate IC. Port controlling driving IC is separate IC. Okay, ROM IC, BIOS IC is separate IC. Isn't it? Then clock circuit is separate. RAM is external, separate ICs. Isn't it? General purpose computer, desktop computer or laptop computers are there, where these are general purpose systems. In that, apart from processor, other all ICs are separate ICs which are there on the single micro motherboard. Okay. These are the general purpose systems. So what about the microcontroller? In microcontroller, a single chip is there in which all the components, minimum required components are fabricated. It is then it is becoming a microcomputer on single chip. The computer in the laptop, general purpose computer, how it is? It is not in a single chip. All the chips are separate. All the ICs are separate. But in case of microcontroller, it is solitary chip microcomputer, unique single chip microcomputer. Okay, in single chip, all the circuits are embedded. Okay, it is all the circuits are embedded in the single chip. Okay. हॅलो.
हॅलो सर, बोला सर.
बोला लवकर, मला क्लास चालू आहे.
मी म्हणून रमेश मागे बोलतोय.
मी क्लास चालू आहे, 2 मिनिटांना करू का? संपत आलाय. सो आपला क्लास पण संपत आलाय ना आता. सो ठीक आहे, थोडा वेळ 10 मिनिटं राहिलेला आहे. सो लेट अस कंटिन्यू. The microcontroller or solitary chip microcomputer is single chip microcontroller. So what is microcontroller? It is microcomputer, complete computer on single chip. It is fabricated from VLSI fabrication, very large scale fabrication. Okay, very large scale fabrication. ठीक है ना? Microcontroller is MUSI or MUC, whatever in short it is called as. It is a single chip microcontroller computer. Single chip microcomputer. एकाच IC वर, एकाच चिप मध्ये पूर्ण मायक्रो कॉम्प्युटर आहे. मायक्रो कॉम्प्युटर. ओके, इट इज फुल मायक्रो कॉम्प्युटर इन सिंगल चिप. ओके, so this is a microcontroller. So microcontroller is also known as embedded controller because mostly microcontrollers are used in embedded devices, embedded systems. So microcontrollers are also called as embedded controllers because they are used in embedded, they are related to embedded. Okay, so these are called embedded controllers. There are types of the microcontrollers. Various types of the microcontrollers are there. There are microcontroller types which are available with different word lengths. Okay, different word lengths. So this depends on the registers, internal register, whatever are there. So word lengths are there for that internal registers. So how much data width it can, data width it can process. That microcontroller, how much it is processing the data width. Depending on that, the different types will be there. Like 4-bit microcontroller is there, 8-bit microcontroller is there, 16 or 64-bit microcontroller, 128-bit microcontroller. So what it indicates? This indicates some bits. And what are these bits? These bits are the word lengths of the microcontroller. Word lengths. Okay. These bits are word lengths of the microcontroller. So what do you mean by word lengths? The microcontroller internal, the register width is there. So that those register may be 4 bit, 8 bit, 16 bit, 32 bit, 64 bit, 128. So that word length is deciding that microcontroller data width. Okay. So how much bit microcontroller is there? If that microcontroller may be 4 bit, that microcontrollers may be 64 bits, that those microcontrollers may be 128 bit, and so on. Okay. So the microcontrollers are having the types, those are depending on different word lengths such as 4 bit, 8 bit, 64 bit, 128 bit microcontrollers. Then the microcontroller is compressed microcomputer. Why it is called compressed microcontroller, microcomputer? Compressed microcontroller, computer. It is a computer, but it is a microcomputer, small computer. It is computer. Means, it is computer means what? Whatever the facilities of the computers are there, whatever the components of the computers are there, all components are there at the microcontroller. Okay. So this is the microcomputer only. Okay. This is the microcontroller, microcomputer. But it is very small microcomputer. So microcontroller is compressed microcomputer. It is microcomputer. It is small computer, but it is compressed again. That means size reduction is there, or capacity reduction is there. It may be 4 bit, or it may be having very small RAM size, it may be having very small memory size, etc. So microcontroller is compressed microcomputer. Okay. This is manufactured to control the functions of embedded system. Microcontroller is compressed microcomputer manufactured to control the functions of embedded system. It is manufactured to control functions of embedded system. There are functions of embedded system, those are controlled by this. So in the case of, in the definition of embedded system, we have seen it is having a computer, but it is not having the primary work of computation. It is having the work of controlling, isn't it? The embedded system in which the computer is there, but it is not computational. It is not doing computation. It is doing the controlling task. It is doing the controlling work. So microcontroller is a compressed microcomputer manufactured to control the functions of embedded system. Okay. Microcontroller is itself is a very small compressed microcomputer, but it is for controlling the functions of embedded system. It is not for computation. It is not for computation. It is for controlling the functions of embedded system. A microcontroller contains the components. Microcontroller has the components like memory, peripherals, and most importantly processor. Okay. What are the components? What it comprises? What it consists of? Microcontroller consists of components like memory. It is having the memory. Like peripherals, it is having many peripherals, and importantly processor. It is having the processor. Most importantly, it is having the processor. Now this sentence is same as the first sentence. First sentence and this sentence are same, isn't it? Microcontroller is a solitary chip microcomputer. Solitary chip microcomputer means on single chip it is the microcomputer. Computer itself it is. The complete motherboard is on the single chip, isn't it? If it is the microcomputer on the single chip, then it will have memory, it will have peripheral, it will have processor, in same chip, isn't it? So that same is written here. A microcontroller comprises or it contains components like memory, like peripherals, and most importantly a processor. Most importantly a processor. So microcontroller comprises components like memory, peripheral, and processor. So on single microcontroller, there will be processor, there will be memory, there will be peripherals. Peripherals like ADC, DAC, timer, counter, all are there on the same chip. So the microcontroller can have the is having the processor basically, can have the memory, can have the other peripherals, ADCs, like DACs, or counters or timers, etc. Okay. So microcontroller is having memory, peripherals, and processors. And microcontrollers are basically employed in devices that need a degree of control to be applied to user by user of the devices. मायक्रोकंट्रोलर्स आर एम्प्लॉईड इन डिव्हायसेस, म्हणजे त्यांना मायक्रोकंट्रोलरला अशा डिव्हायसेसमध्ये काम दिलं जातं किंवा वापरलं जातं दॅट नीड्स अ डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल टू बी अप्लाइड बाय द युजर ऑफ द डिव्हाइस. द युजर इज अप्लाइंग अ डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल. Some controls are applied by the user. That means the irrigation motor should be made on if this condition happens. Irrigation motor should become off. These are the controls by user. Users apply the control on the motor, turning on of the motor, turning off the motor, isn't it? शेतीला पाणी देण्याचा पंप जो आहे तो आपल्याला जर कंट्रोल करायचा आहे तर तो जर एम्बेडेड सिस्टीम तुम्ही बनवला तर तुम्ही काय करताय, तर शेतीचा जो पाणी देण्याचा पंप असेल त्याला कंट्रोल करताय तुम्ही. ऑन करणे ऑफ करणे हे कंट्रोलिंग. किंवा घरातला आपला पंप असेल, वरती टाकीमध्ये आपल्याला पाणी भरायचं आहे, टाकीत वरच्या छपरावर आपल्या टाकी असेल ना, ह्याच्यावर म्हणजे टेरेसवर टाकी असेल तर त्या टाकीवर आपण जर पाणी भरलं तर आपल्या घरामध्ये त्याला ऑटोमॅटिक त्या ग्रॅव्हिटेशनने आपल्याला नंतर पाणी वापरता येतं. म्हणून आपण काय करतो, पाणी नळाला आलं की टाकीला खालच्या हौदातून टाकीला भरायला चालू करतो नळ, आणि मग तो वरची टाकी भरली की आपण नळ बंद करतो. मग त्याला ऑटोमॅटिक करू शकता तुम्ही मायक्रो कंट्रोलर वापरून. म्हणजे जी मोटर आहे ती चालू करणे, मोटर कधी बंद व्हायला पाहिजे ती बंद करणे, लेवल इंडिकेटर लावून तुम्ही करू शकता. मग त्याला तुम्ही कंट्रोल करताय ना, त्या मोटरच्या ऑन आणि ऑफ ऑपरेशनला तुम्ही कंट्रोल करताय. मग हे जे कंट्रोलिंग आहे ते तुम्ही करता युजर, और तुम्ही जे काय त्याचे एम्बेडेड सिस्टीमचे हे करताय ना डेव्हलपर. सो तुम्ही काय करता, तर मायक्रो कंट्रोलर्स आर बेसिकली एम्प्लॉईड. म्हणजे मायक्रो कंट्रोलर तुम्ही कशा करता वापरता, बेसिकली कशासाठी वापरता. So microcontrollers are basically employed in the device that need a degree of control to be applied by the user on the device, isn't it? त्या डिव्हाइसवर काही डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल तुम्ही करता. म्हणजे फक्त लेवल पाहून ऑन ऑफ करा, किंवा असं ही डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल टाकू शकता, किंवा खाली जी टाकी आहे जमिनीवर त्याच्यामध्ये पाणी आहे का नाही पाहायचं आणि मग चालू करायचं. नाहीतर त्यात पाणी नसेल तर चालू होणार नाही, असंही तुम्ही डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल टाकू शकता. ओके. म्हणजे आता नळाला पाणी आल्यानंतर आपण अंडरग्राऊंड टाकीमध्ये ऑटोमॅटिक पाणी पडत असतं. ऑटोमॅटिक पाणी पडत असल्यावर अंडरग्राऊंड टाकीत पाणी भरतं. त्याच्यानंतर तुम्ही काय करता, मोटर लावता आणि मॅन्युअली बटन दाबून वरच्या टाकीमध्ये, सिंटेक्स टाकीमध्ये किंवा सिमेंटच्या टाकीमध्ये, वरच्या टेरेसवरच्या टाकीमध्ये पाणी भरता. मग असं करत असताना आपण मॅन्युअली बघतो की वरची टाकी भरून ओव्हरफ्लो होऊन पाणी पडायला लागलेलं आहे, तर मग ते बटन बंद करतो. हे सगळं झालं टोटली मॅन्युअल. मग तुम्ही काय करता की बाबा एक एम्बेडेड सिस्टीम लावता आणि त्याच्यात लेवल डिटेक्शन करता वरच्या टाकीत पाण्याचं. आणि जर वरच्या टाकीतलं पाणी एका लेवलपेक्षा खाली गेलं असं, तिथं एक लेवल इंडिकेटर सेन्सर असतो, ते तसं झालं की मोटर चालू होते आणि पाणी भरतं वरती, आणि वरती फुल झाली टाकी की त्याचा एक लेवल सेन्सर असतो. तो लेवल सेन्सर पर्यंत पाणी आले की तो सेन्सर काय करतो, मोटर बंद करून टाकतो. म्हणजे तुम्हाला काही अडचण राहत नाही, म्हणजे मोटर ऑटोमॅटिक चालू होते, ऑटोमॅटिक बंद होते. पण आता अंडरग्राऊंड टाकीमध्ये पाणीच नसेल तर ते तुम्ही डिटेक्ट करायला सेन्सर लावू शकता. अंडरग्राऊंड टाकीमध्ये पाणी आहे की नाही, अशा रीतीने तुम्ही आणखी ऑटोमेट करू शकता. म्हणजे डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल जो आहे तो तुम्ही वाढवता, डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल वाढवता. सो दीज आर कॉल्ड डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल ऑफ द डिव्हाइस. So microcontroller are basically employed in the device that needs a degree of control to be applied by the user of the device or on the device. Okay. So these are the this is we can call introduction of the microcontroller. What is microcontroller? What do you mean by microcontroller? ओके, मायक्रोकंट्रोलर म्हणजे काय? आता तुम्ही मायक्रोकंट्रोलर शिकलेलं आहे मागच्या वर्षी, त्यामुळं ते काय कसं काम करतो वगैरे मी सांगितलं नाही. तुम्हाला फक्त इंट्रोडक्शन किंवा डेफिनेशन दिली, मायक्रोकंट्रोलरची डेफिनेशन सांगितली. मायक्रोकंट्रोलर काय असतो, तर मायक्रोकंट्रोलर जो आहे तो त्याला शॉर्ट फॉर्म मध्ये म्यूसी किंवा यूसी म्हणतात ना, म्यूसी किंवा यूसी. तो मायक्रोकंट्रोलर, तर तो काय असतो? इट इज सॉलिटरी चिप मायक्रोकंट्रोलर, मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर. इट इज सॉलिटरी चिप मायक्रोकंट्रोलर म्हणजे सिंगल, सॉलिटरी म्हणजे सिंगल चिप मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर. हा पूर्ण मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटरच आहे, संपूर्ण मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर आहे. तो संपूर्ण मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर एकाच चिपवर आहे, सॉलिटरी चिप. पूर्ण मायक्रोकंट्रोलर एकाच चिपवर आहे. इट इज सॉलिटरी चिप मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर. So microcontroller MUSI or UC is solitary chip microcomputer. ओके. आणि हे फॅब्रिकेशन जे आहे मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटरचं ते VLSI फॅब्रिकेशनने करता येतं तुम्हाला. VLSI व्हेरी लार्ज स्केल इंटिग्रेशन फॅब्रिकेशनने करता येतं. सो मायक्रोकंट्रोलर इज अ MUSI or UC is a solitary chip microcomputer and fabricated from VLSI fabrication. So microcontroller is also known as embedded controller because embedded systems can use processor and can use microcontrollers, but processors are general purpose and the embedded systems are dedicated. They are not general purpose. So generally general purpose processors are not used. तुम्ही यूज करू शकता, मायक्रो प्रोसेसर बेस्ड एम्बेडेड सिस्टीम करू शकता, but that increase cost and other peripherals. So the microcontroller is used instead of microprocessor. Always microcontroller is used. So microcontroller लाच embedded controller असं नाव देऊन टाकलं. मग microcontroller is also known as embedded controller. Various types of the microcontrollers are there. Types based on the data width, register width. Okay, रजिस्टरची width असते तेवढं, तसं त्याचे टाइप्स असतात वेगवेगळे मायक्रोकंट्रोलरचे. जे डिफरंट वर्ड लेंथ नुसार टाईप वेगळे वेगळे असतात. म्हणजे 4 बीटचा मायक्रोकंट्रोलर आहे, 8 बीटचा आहे, 16 बीटचा आहे, 64 बीटचा आहे, 128, 152. सो दीज आर मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. सो ओनली 4 बीट, 8 बीट, 16 बीट मायक्रोकंट्रोलर्स आर देअर. वी यूज इन अवर प्रोजेक्ट्स. Large data bit width microcontrollers are also there. Okay. So these are the types of the microcontrollers. Then microcontroller is a, म्हणजे मायक्रोकंट्रोलर काय असतो, तर इट इज अ कॉम्प्रेस्ड मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर. हा कॉम्प्रेस्ड म्हणजे अख्खा कॉम्प्युटर जो आहे ना, अख्खा मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर, कॉम्प्रेस्ड मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर, तो एका चिपवर बसवला, सिंगल IC वर बसवला. दॅट इज मायक्रोकंट्रोलर. मायक्रोकंट्रोलर काय असतो, तर इट इज कम्प्लीट मायक्रोकॉम्प्युटर placed on the single chip and manufactured to control the function of embedded system. आणि एम्बेडेड सिस्टीमचे फंक्शन कंट्रोल करण्यासाठी तो मॅन्युफॅक्चर केलेला आहे. मायक्रो कंट्रोलर कंप्राइजेस द, मग आता हे सगळं वरचं आहे तेच पुन्हा मायक्रो कॉम्प्युटर कंप्राइजेस द कंपोनंट्स. मायक्रो कंट्रोलर हे कुठल्या कुठल्या कंपोनंट असतात त्याच्यात, तर मेमरी, पेरिफेरल, प्रोसेसर हे कंपोनंट असतात. पेरिफेरल मध्ये काय असतं तर एडीसी, डीएसी, काउंटर, टायमर, क्लॉक, real time clock, etc. Many components are there. So this is a microcontroller. These are the microcontroller components: memory, peripheral, processor. And microcontrollers are basically employed in what? In the devices that needs the degree of control. In the devices that needs the degree of control. Okay. ज्या डिव्हाइसमध्ये आपल्याला कंट्रोलिंग करायला लागतं कशाचं तरी कुठल्या तरी पॅरामीटरचं काही डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल, ठराविक डिग्रीज ऑफ कंट्रोल किंवा आणखी हायर डिग्री ऑफ कंट्रोल, आणखी डिग्रीज तुम्ही वाढवू शकता, आणखी काही गोष्टी त्यात ऍड करू शकता. दोज डिग्रीज ऑफ कंट्रोल इज रिक्वायर्ड. इन दोज केसेस द मायक्रोकंट्रोलर इज यूज. ओके. So this is the introduction of the microcontroller. This is introduction of the microcontroller. This is the definition of microcontroller. So in our syllabus, there is not a study of microcontroller because already you have studied the microcontrollers in your previous semester, isn't it? Fourth semester, I think, second year, fourth semester, you already studied the microcontroller. So we will not study the microcontroller, but we will have the just very fast introduction again of the variety of 3-4 types of the microcontrollers very quickly, and then we are going for the programming of the controller because controller you are already knowing. So we are going for the programming of the microcontroller. So here we have started the definition of the microcontroller. We will go for the types of the microcontroller and we will go for the programming of the microcontroller. Okay, for today we will stop here for embedded system. Thank you.